A sensational Liverpool comeback with the final kick of the game. The youngster who turned 17 yesterday wins it for Jurgen Klopp's men. And 5 wins from 5 for Arsenal. Right now, they're invincible. They will be title contenders. History dictates it. Another hat-trick from Haaland. Spurs bottle the lead. What a midweek bonanza of football we've got for you. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. No better place to be than right here. Let's go. Absolutely scintillating evening of football. I couldn't go live after the Arsenal win because I had to see the end of the Spurs game. I had to see the end of the Liverpool game. I couldn't help myself. Absolutely mesmerizing. So much, I can't even fit everything I want to fit on the title. Give us more than 100 characters, YouTube. You scoundrels. What a night. What a historic night in the history of the Premier League. All the games live. They should do them all at the same time, by the way. I actually would prefer that myself. But what a night and where to start. We've got a great panel for you. I wanted to start with Arsenal, but I've got to start with Liverpool because of what they just did. They were about to be. Let's get the league table up. Let's get the league table up on the screen right now. Let me put this up for you so you can see it, right? Look at this. Liverpool were about to be. Scroll down. I don't even know if it's updated. It has updated on 8 points, right? So they're still 7 points off top. They were going to be 9 points. Liverpool were going to be 9 points off the top after 5 games. Title challenge looking absolutely dead and dusted. Finished like my hairline this time last year. But Firmino with a goal. And then the youngster, the man can't even shave properly yet. And he gets the winner at Anfield. He keeps Liverpool's title hopes alive this early. And I am not being hyperbolic. I am not being over the top because they had to win tonight. And it was out of this world. It was sensational. A sensational moment of football. Lots for Liverpool to look at. Lots for Liverpool to deliberate about. You know, it's that a hair's breadth away from making it 2-0 earlier on in the game. And a better team than Newcastle probably would have beaten them tonight. But they will take those 3 points. They'll celebrate them like crazy. And Arsenal, oh my God, Arsenal, top of the league. 15 points out of a possible 15, plus 9 goal difference, 5 wins from 5, the real deal. Now, a lot of people don't want to refer to Arsenal as being the real deal. I lost 172 followers very quickly today by saying by this one tweet. Analytics show you this. Every time Arsenal have won anytime a top team, I'm not talking about a mid-table side that has a good run. No top team has ever won their first 5 games in the Premier League without being in the title race. Arsenal, in fact, have never won their first 5 games to any league campaign and not won the league title. Arsenal Football Club will become title challengers this year. I think it's absolutely a shoo-in. They were brilliant again tonight. Just didn't have their finishing boots on. And the goal came against a run of play from a corner. How often is that really going to happen? And then within minutes, Arsenal respond, and get themselves the goal back in the game. The mentality is on point from Arsenal. This is an Arsenal team that would have crumbled in that situation a few years ago. This is an Arsenal team just 12 months ago, missing 3, 4, 5 chances, would have been gone. And I keep hearing people say, yeah, but injuries will hurt them. But everyone's going to get injuries. Like Arsenal will not be the only team to get injuries. And I'm hearing every fan base screaming ahead of tomorrow's window, we need more. We're too weak in these areas. Everyone's got holes and weaknesses. It isn't just Arsenal. We're acting like, Spurs fans are doing their nut because they're about to sign. They might sign Dan James. It's really not a good window for us now. We haven't addressed things. Everyone's got that issue. So to label that only at Spurs is crazy. What if Haaland goes missing for 3 months? I mean, we'll get on to Haaland in a minute. Arsenal, real deal. And then on Haaland tonight. 2 back-to-back hat tricks. Someone search me this and find it for me. I'm not going to look. Has anyone ever done 3 in a row? Maybe Aguero has. Listen, I would say only Harry Kane, Aguero, and Omri, maybe Rooney. One of those 4 might have done it. 3 games back-to-back hat tricks. Haaland is going to break Mo Salah's record if he stays fit. Haaland, and I said this, and I lost more followers tonight for this, but I don't care. As in terms of goal scoring, I haven't seen a better goal scorer at his age since R9. R9, better footballer. Goal scorer, I've seen no one better. Oh, just tap-ins. Then why is everyone not making them tap-ins? If they're just tap-ins, anyone could do it. Skills. Skills. Absolute skills from this guy. And what he did tonight was sensational. And of course, we go down the road to old East London, my stomping ground. Spurs. Bottled the lead. Couldn't hold on. They lost it at the end. More drop points. I know they're third in the league. There's some more drop points. Another little bottle job for them tonight, which was nice. But yeah, you're starting to see the league take shape. And I'm now hoping massively for Man United win tomorrow night because we need it because we've been pushed down to where in the league? Sitting down in 12th. We need a win tomorrow night to push ourselves up to, we'd go 5th actually with a win tomorrow night. And then we're up against Arsenal. And we're not going to talk much about that tonight because that's what the top 6 show tomorrow is for. And of course, the 12th man. Let's go to some of your comments here. Haaland already got the most goals in an individual month. He's been here a month and he's broken a record already. I don't think people understand. And I don't know why certain people hate on this guy already. I tweeted this earlier as well, and it's the truth. At his age, he's a better goal scorer than Messi and Ronaldo were. Not a better player, not a better dribbler, not better touch, not better at any of that. Just as purely as putting goals in the back of the net. This guy, for his age, there's only one striker in the last 30 to 40 years in Europe who had a better goal-to-game ratio than him, and that was R9. He is head and shoulders at this age in front of everyone. This boy stays fit, and this boy stays hungry and keeps working his ass off every minute of every training session and every game. We could be witnessing somebody else doing similar numbers to Messi and Ronaldo goal-wise. I'll never consider him as good a player, probably. But in terms of goals, the man is an absolute freak, alien. Not of this world. And I know people have been doubting him for 3 or 4 years now. They'll probably move the goalpost and we can't do it in the final. I want to see what he does in the big games. Wait till he starts scoring in them as well. Pep here says Spurs should have had a penalty and Rice should have been sent off tonight. VAR robbed, Tottenham disgrace. The Spurs shouldn't have had a penalty. Shouldn't have had a penalty. The ball hit Cresswell in the head, then hit his arm. His arm was in a natural position because he just jumped and he was coming down. No penalty at all. R9 at 20 was scary. Haaland at 22 is scarier. I would disagree overall as a footballer. In terms of a goal scorer, there's an argument there. But what people won't do is differentiate goal scorer and footballer when it comes to Haaland because they want to hate on him. For some reason, Haaland's going to get the same hate as Harry Kane. Haaland's going to get the same hate as Declan Rice. I feel he's going to be put into that category myself. Arsenal are looking ruthless, top of the league. David, they look ruthless, they look strong, they look mentally together, and the noise at the Emirates Stadium is like nothing I've heard in my life. Not in my life have I heard a noise like that from the Emirates Stadium. I mean, the Emirates hasn't been around my whole life, but it's been quiet. It gets called the library for a reason. That's no disrespect, but I think this is the best Arsenal fans have felt since the Invincible season. I truly believe that. And as I said, give it a few more weeks on the terrace, and I will have Lee Gunner saying, I'm sorry, Arteta, I love you, Arteta in, and then singing the Arteta song. I'll never sing another football club song, but there we go. Unless you super chat me. I'll do it for charity like I did before. Get in, best way to win a match, even better than winning 9-0. That is karma. Newcastle milked everything and got scored on in time added on. Yeah, I nearly got done with fake news, by the way, by KJ backstage again. He told me it was over. I nearly tweeted that Liverpool dropped points. And then I was like, I'm not going to just yet because I don't trust KJ at the minute. He is honestly he's like Hillary Clinton. He's a fake news guru, is what he is. Added 3 minutes extra when Newcastle players weren't even down a minute. Only Liverpool can get more added time, is what Dyke has got to say about Liverpool's winner. Not very happy there. Don't disrespect R9. I didn't disrespect R9. I'm talking in terms of finishing. I said he's the best since R9. I didn't say he was better than R9. Listen to my words carefully, my friend. Refs adding time on for no reason. Why is what Jake Snacks has got to say. Thank you to Guna Paul for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. I really do appreciate it. And we've got a great panel for you tonight, people. Let me tell you about this panel. We've got Jessica Black. We've got Egal. We've got Colleen. We've got Tom, who's got a Fulham shirt, which is weird. We've got Tom backstage. We've got... Oh, is that Ram? I haven't seen Ram all summer. Ram's there. V's there. Zain's there. Patrick's there. We'll rotate a few in and out as well. We're going to keep the panel very active and very fluid tonight. Very fluid. is what we're is how we're going to keep it. Let's keep these comments coming. I don't have KJ Star in. He's not. Okay, I'll find him. Okay, already had that one there. Sorry, people. I don't want to miss any of these super chats. Bless you for your objectivity. Keep it up. I'm nothing but objective when it comes to being professional. The Man United fan in me's angry right now. Fuck Liverpool. I don't want Arsenal to be this good, but I wouldn't be a very good host of the most neutral and welcoming football content creation channel in the world. And by the way, we've got something massive coming for you for Champions League football. Every Champions League night, what the Football Terrace has got coming, I'm so happy and excited to bring to you all. So keep your eyes peeled. I am crazy to say that Liverpool switch places with Arsenal. It's funny you say that. The intensity, the way Arsenal are playing, the intensity reminds me of Liverpool. Bring on Colleen is what I cut my body gas says in the comment section there. We are going to win the quadruple. Smash the like buttons is what Ilyas has got to say. The refs have been trying to make Liverpool win so as not to make the EPL a farmers league. It's pure economics. You can't mark it as the best league in the world. If not, I would do the same. Happens in all sports is what's been said here. I kind of don't get that. Maybe that went right over my head with the excitement of the brilliant football matches that we have witnessed tonight. But what I do need from you people is that like button being smashed. Very, very important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. It absolutely is. We are talking Tottenham. We are talking City. We're talking Arsenal and Liverpool as well tonight. Lengon Sweet says, Haaland excellent today, but Spider-Man was cold. By the way, Spider-Man is Julian Alvarez. Listen, AWB deserves to have that title taken away, so you can have it. Haaland's skills are not R9 or Messi-like. He's off the ball movement. Spatial awareness and positioning is the best I have ever seen since Romario. And do you know what's interesting? That's very, very true. The reason that Haaland scores so many goals isn't because he can dribble or beat people like R9 and Messi. He hasn't got the touch of those players, but the positional sense and the awareness and finding the right spaces, anticipating where the ball's going to be. I don't know if I've seen a striker at his age as good as him ever at that particular skill set. He's just because he doesn't have what R9 had in terms of his skill and his touch, and he's scoring at a similar rate. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And by the way, even if his body lets him down, the physical side, he'll still be scoring 20 plus goals a season just with his positioning. The geezer's got something that very few football players are born with, that instinct to put that ball in the back of the net, and it's sensational. Ian Wright had 2 hat-tricks back-to-back, only one. No, Wayne Rooney did it. He got a hat-trick against Bolton, and then he got a hat-trick against Arsenal when we beat them 8-2. And I only remember that because he nearly got a hat-trick against Chelsea in the next game. He scored a brace. And I think they said at the time that would have been the first player to do 3 on the bounce. Maybe Haaland can break that. Can you imagine Haaland in his first month in the league gets more individual goals in 1 month than any player ever and breaks that back-to-back hat-trick record in 1 month? I just think we give him the crown as greatest striker ever. I wish Adam Charles could see Arsenal now. Adam Charles is back on the terrace this Sunday, people. He'll be joining Jess and I in the studio in London. So make sure you are tuning in for the return of one of the greatest members of the Football Terrace. Adam Charles but he's actually been very busy with a very important job. So I don't blame him for not being here. Man had to grow up. Do you know what I mean? He got a missus and a house, so he had to go and do his work and all that jazz. 3 hat-trick in a row. Okay, listen. Yeah, Premier League. I'm talking about that. That's before. Is that before World War I or just after World War I? 1918. Was that when World War I started, or just after? Just after. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, World War I, bruv. It's a long time ago. Did you see that Liverpool fans over celebrating at a last-minute winner like they were Arsenal fans? But this is the thing, right? That's where you can't have a go at over celebrating. There is no such thing as over celebrating a win. I think that kind of fan policing is crazy. I think that do you know how much football fans pay to go and watch football matches as well? No disrespect to all of us sitting at home watching it. A day out to watch Arsenal or a day out to watch Liverpool, travel, drink, food, ticket. It's about 200 quid. It's a lot of money for working class people. Like, you need to enjoy that, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And trust me, and it's better and more exhilarating than any concert, any other show. You could literally watch Beyonce followed by Queen with Freddie Mercury alive, followed by a night watching WWE, and nothing compares to the exhilaration of winning a football match, and especially an important one or a last-minute winner. In fact, I will say this, it is better than sex. It is the best sensation you'll ever get in your life, barring your kids being born. I didn't really enjoy it. No, I'm joking. I did enjoy that. It weren't painful for me. We're going to start bringing out the panel now, my people. Oh, Alan's back. We have got a Spurs fan backstage. Oh, the bottling's come back out. The bottling's come back. Who should I bring out to begin with? I'm bringing out Jessica Black. I'm bringing out Egal. I'm bringing out Colleen. I'm bringing out Patrick. And I'm going to bring out Ram. Everyone else can stay backstage for a little bit. Keep the energy for me, and we'll rotate it as we move forward. But let's get this video past 1,500 likes, and I'm going to gift away 50 free memberships to you, my brilliant community tonight. I truly, truly am. Let's get this show properly on the road. I've got to find the right overlays. I've got the right bits ready. I have. Let's do this. Let's go. Yeah, we heard you yawning there as we played you in. Patrick's here and Ram is here with us. What a night of Premier League football, everybody. What a night we saw. I want to go to Ram first. The last-minute winner from Carvalho. What you saying?
I was right. I just want to say this. When I was on Coppish, I wanted Carvalho to play. And I was right. Tom was right. Roms was right. We all wanted this guy to play. And not only the last minute win, just this guy is something. He's like, we lacked this for such a long time. And the guy comes on and brings a different spark to our game. We looked devoid of any ideas. We were just absolutely shocking majority of the game. And then this guy has to take the club on his shoulders and score that type of goal. I'm speechless. He stood up in front of every single player, every single world-class player that we have, and took it on his shoulders and scored that goal. It's as simple as that. This guy's a talent. He's a talent. I wish he was English, Terry. I wish he was English. You know what I'm saying? I would. But
what a weird thing to say.
What? I wish a talented player to be English. Of course he would. Of course I would.
Oh, okay, you're English.
Yeah, it's not a weird thing. You do realize when English people say that, we just mean to play for our country and help us win. We don't mean like we don't like anyone who's not English. You do understand that, right?
Don't put that on my head and go, allow that.
Yeah, that's what people mean by it. It's purely for sport. It's a bit like you see a world-class player. I wish he played for Arsenal. Like, that's the same difference. It means that. Yeah, I mean, it was a great moment, and we'll get more into Liverpool later in terms of some of the issues there, because there definitely are some. Arsenal fans, Egal, talk to me. 5 wins from 5. It must be beyond your wildest dreams that you start a season this well. First time in 20 years or so that you've done it. The last time you did this, you won the league. The feel-good factor is there. Talk to me after about another win, my friend.
You know what? We all said we should win 5 for 5. We should do it. We should do it. But you know what? We never actually expect, some of us don't actually expect it to happen the way it happened. We fought hard. We worked. And you know what? The most important thing about this, it's not the same old Arsenal. You know how people always say it's the same old Arsenal. We drop points. We always concede a goal and then our heads drop and we lose the game. No, when we concede a goal, we bounce back immediately. We pick ourselves up and we say, you know what, we're going to take this game by the scruff of the neck, and we get that goal back and we take the 3 points home. And that shows the fight, the desire, the hunger that these guys have. Gabriel Jesus, once again, showing who he is, a workhorse, doing everything he can to try to get the 3 points for the team. Bukayo Saka had a poor game at times. He missed a sitter, but then bounced back in the second half, got the assist to help us win the game. Martinelli got his 3rd goal of the season. You know what? That first game when he got the goal, I didn't think he was going to be continuing to fire the way he is. Long may it continue. ESR is going to find it extremely hard to get back into this side. That defense is no one's coming into that defense at this moment in time. Tomiyasu, I'm sorry, you're sitting on the bench. Ben White and these boys have been doing a good job defensively, and I'm just worried that we might have picked up some injuries with Odegaard and Ramsdale. I just want to know, hopefully they're okay. Lokonga, I said I believe in Lokonga before the game, and he proved me right. He did well. He played well, and I don't think anyone can point out any fault in his game today. And Granit Xhaka, once again, proving the haters wrong, playing in that advanced role, looking really good. I thought overall we didn't play our best at times, but overall we got it done, and that's all we needed to do. We get the job done. On to Man United. You're next, Terry.
From your point of view, Jess, obviously I heard the trials and tribulations throughout the course of the game and the stress that you went through, but you must be really proud. I mean, yes, it maybe not perfect tonight, but proud of the way you're performing.
Yeah, I mean, You can't really complain being 5 from 5. We definitely look different. We're playing differently. There's different scenarios where, the last game against Fulham, we go down a goal, we come back. This one was a little bit, we really should have been like 3-0 up. Like this game shouldn't have been anywhere near as close as it was. But we had a little bit of a issue with Ramsdale in the goal. We gave up, a goal. It was tied, and then we came straight back and responded. And so those are things that I'm not quite sure like we could say that we saw at all, from Arsenal before under Mikel Arteta. So the team is growing. They're playing at a speed and intensity that we didn't see last season either. Players are really stepping up. I thought Odegaard and Granit Xhaka were excellent. Sambi was really good as well. Defense was solid. So yeah, there's nothing really to complain about in terms of that. I do think our depth is being is being tested already, and that's the Premier League. You start off, you think you have a strong side, and then all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 injuries, and then you have 3 or 4 injuries the entire season, rotating between different players. So it's just a matter of just sucking it up and continuing on and getting the points. But I think Aston Villa was so important to get the 3 points, not because we wanted to just keep the 5 out of 5 record, but because we have Man United next, and we know no matter what kind of form Man United are in, you go to Old Trafford and anything can happen. So now we can go into that match probably with a weaker squad, because we're not going to have our number one. We're not going to have Thomas Partey. Like there's going to be quite a few players out, knowing that at least get a draw and you're probably all right. So yeah, I like the performance. I think even with Saka, like I was frustrated. I think he definitely needs to be more clinical. And I'm watching a player that I don't think is at 100%. But like Egal said, he got an assist, and so he has contributed to the game in some capacity. So Arsenal are playing at a different level now. Can we keep it up? That's all about what our strength and depth can do. There's a couple of hours left in the transfer window. It would, I think, be a smart idea for Arsenal to bring in some extra players. If we go through the rest of this window and don't bring anybody in, I think it'd be stupid. But so far, so good. Nothing to complain about, and I don't appreciate Terry calling me out. I'm not a good Arsenal watcher. I've said that before. I don't watch
I have
my
to be
team
honest with you.
well.
I've got to call this out. It's horrendous in the sense of I sit there kind of, I don't want Arsenal to win, of course, but you're under no real pressure. Villa are doing nothing. Every time Villa just move the ball anywhere near halfway, like, oh, that's it. They're going to score now. It's like, calm down. They're not. It's absolutely mental listening to it. I'm like, have you ever watched football before? It's kind of mad. It's really, really terrible. Like,
me before and I watch along.
No, you're even worse, Egal. You cheer at things that don't need to be cheered. There was a time he was in another room. Me and Leah's are watching the game in one room, and Egal's stream was ahead of ours, and he went, "Oh!" for it. Like we thought, "Oh, maybe they nearly scored," and it was like the worst pea shooter shot I've ever seen in my life. But I suppose everyone, when they're watching their own team, is a little strange like that. So it isn't just you guys. But yeah, look, I thought it was an excellent night, an excellent night for you. We will come back to talk Arsenal in a minute. I want to ask Patrick. I just want to ask you about one person, really. I want to ask you about Haaland.
You know what? First of all, I'd like to appreciate Mr. Roy Jennings for apologizing yesterday quite in time before he was going to take a big L, but for saying Haaland is going to flop. There's a guy also, I just forgot his name. He said Haaland won't get more than 10 goals, that things are not going to work in our system. He's already on 9 goals, by the way. I don't know if some people are telling us that we made a mistake giving away Jesus. Look, we gave away Jesus to Arsenal to help them and Zinchenko, but Haaland, man, I've never seen somebody who things are easy for him. Like the guy was just walking about. The guy doesn't have to put effort. All he was doing there is walk, and when he sees the opportunity, he makes a small run, go. He had 2 touches, 2 goals, then 3 touches, 3 goals, and then he had about 10 touches. Then he scored the third one. Like, who does that? Like, seriously, at the end of the day, Terry, whatever you're writing on Twitter, I know some people are salty, and obviously it hurts them because they were hoping that he becomes the white Lukaku, as they called him. So it didn't work out for a lot of people. And Haaland, man, amazing. And I think he's gonna break it. That record is gone. I think that record is gone because people don't get one thing. They keep saying, "Oh, he's gonna get injured. He's not going to the World Cup." That's the first thing. Number 2, we have Alvarez, and people keep looking at Haaland, Terry, and forget that Alvarez is a dangerous character too. So we can play a game with Alvarez, and Alvarez can also hurt you. That's what's going to happen. So right now, if Haaland is on the bench, what's going to be happening is Alvarez comes in, he scores the goals. Some games Alvarez is going to play. Haaland is going to be subbed off after 40 minutes after he scores 3. I hope he scores 3 again in the next game. The only thing I'm concerned about, Terry, is Arsenal. And I see other people are not able to beat them. So we're going to have to do what we did to Liverpool. We're going to have to find a way to beat them ourselves. So I'm looking forward to the 2 games we're going to play against Arsenal. But I appreciate Arteta. As Pep said last season, that Arteta is going to be a good manager. When people are saying Arteta out, look what's happening. It's happening. So, Terry, I can't also wait to play you guys. I hope you guys are in bad shape when we find you. Maguire, I hope you put him in. I would like Haaland to do another hat-trick with you guys. I love it. I'm enjoying myself. I don't even have to put my voice up because I'm in cloud 9.
You're not scoring a hat trick against us with the butcher,
Martinez.
mate. He's already had your boy. Yeah, that's why you want him out, Maguire back in. I hear you, my guy. Patrick, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. I really appreciate it, mate. Top man. Thank you. We're going to add Alan to the stream with us now, because we want to get a bit of a Spurs perspective on tonight. Is they're the only one of the top 6 that's bottled it tonight, and we'll speak to you in just a moment. But yeah, look, Haaland is out of this world, and I know, Egal, you said a few weeks ago, like I've kind of had to eat some humble pie. Because I remember it was a couple of years ago, you said you think he's a little bit overrated, and you know he's been in the Bundesliga since then. He's now at City, but he's taken the mick. They say no footballer has ever scored this many goals in one season in 1 month in the Premier League. And that, look at the great goal scorers we've had: Henry, Kane, Aguero, Rooney, Andy Cole, Ian Wright. None of them have scored this many goals in a month. That's crazy.
He's going to win the Golden Boot. I've given up on Mo Salah in my fantasy team. I don't know why I captain anyone else besides this guy, man. I'm only from now on. If Haaland plays, you know he's going to score. That's just how it is. It's just
people that believe in Bundesliga tax are in the mud.
No, I never believed in that.
No, not you, Egal, but just people in general. Like this guy came from Bundesliga, the Austrian Bundesliga, and now look at him. He's bagging goals left, right, and center. So
it's just, are you good enough for the Premier League or not? We've got some super chats here. First one said, I want to make sure I don't read ones I've already read. Rice gets hate because he's trash. Kane because he has 0 trophies. I don't think that's the only reason, to be fair, but we'll leave that for another day. Thank you, Ron, for your becoming a member of the Terrace. It means a great deal to me. Thank you. I'm glad he's not English waste man. About Carvalho is what Michael Ramsey's got to say. Excuse me. First time sending a super chat. Respect your unbiased opinion. Do you think Villa's goal should have stood? Keep up the good work. Yes, I don't think that was a foul on Ramsdale. I think Kamara stands his ground. He's got every right. Goalkeepers are overprotected. I feel like it kind of was a little bit Ramsdale's fault, but I feel like if you've got someone marking your keeper, you should have a defender in front of both of them that can then get their head to that ball. So it was a bit of poor defending. But I'm going to plagiarize here and still something somebody else said to me. But Arsenal should have been clear by that point anyway. So focusing on that mistake.
Who said that?
You did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Arsenal should have been clear at that point. So yeah, but for me, it was a goal. I think it most certainly was. I mean, you don't want to concede goals like that. You always hope that the referee changes their mind. But it was actually, I think Ramsdale was fouling him more than the other way around, to be honest.
Well, we've given up 4 goals this season, and I would say clearly 3 were mistakes, errors. The fourth one, the Madison goal, Ramsdale admitted that was an error on him. Even though when you look at it, you could give Madison some credit on it. All of the goals pretty much have been errors. Nobody has scored a good goal against us. It's all been on ourselves. And so that's definitely something to look at. You know, defense looks good, but you can't just be giving up goals like that. So yeah, but another error, another day where we have to look at this performance and say like, okay, how can we make it better?
Agreed. Guna Paul says, good evening, Terry. Glad to jump as a member. Sambi played well, but I have to admit, I thought he would be poor tonight. Got to admit when I am wrong. Yeah, I thought Sambi had a very good. You got to remember about Sambi Lokonga. I was very lucky enough to do an interview with Christophe Terrier when you signed him. And he said that Arsenal were moving early because of other clubs' interest. He's not ready yet. Arsenal didn't even want to buy him last year. This was a summer that Arsenal were meant to move for him. So he came a year early. So I'm not surprised. I believe he will get better over the course of this season. Jess, I told you to wait and see. Sambi was solace. That is from Crispy Rice there. Tommy was the reason for the second goal, though, Egal.
No, I hear that. I just feel like the back four that we have that started it, is playing so well, and they've been playing so well over the last couple of weeks, that it doesn't make sense to change it at this moment.
Well, here's the thing, though. If Ben White is injured, we don't know yet. But if he is, Tomiyasu comes in. That's his opportunity to get his spot back. I thought he was really good today. Ben White was good, but so was Tommy. And Tierney wasn't bad either. So having injuries is also an opportunity for players to come and take your spot. So you want to be fit, you want to be ready. But I'm glad we have players that we feel comfortable stepping in, because if Tomiyasu has to play against Man United, I'm not worried. So, but I think you made a really good point in terms of there's no reason to change it, but we may be forced to change it. Those are good opportunities for players.
And with Colleen's best friend, Cedric, headed out, now we know what happened.
He is staying. There's no way I'm allowing him to go. I will shackle him to N5 if I have to.
Is this like a you like him type thing? Is it one of them?
No, I just appreciate that 7-game run he did for us. I appreciate him.
Fair enough. Saka was fantastic. Wriggled away from players, had that swagger back. Only the goal missing, but still getting into those positions. Goals will come. Gerrard should become a rugby coach. Taught Mings how to dunk a tackle. Gerrard showing he has no tactical framework. It's just get stuck in, lads. There was definitely an element of that tonight that you could see.
It was like that from that old playbook from like back when he was playing. If you guys just knock Arsenal around a little bit, they'll just crumble. Yeah. Update your hard drive, buddy. We're not like that anymore.
He's an absolute fraud, Gerrard, as a manager. Bundesliga tax, no. Chelsea tax, yes, is what C has got to say there. Colin, we will speak to you about Arsenal, but I wanted to ask. Actually, I wanted to ask. You might not have watched all of it, but obviously Spurs dropped points tonight. Title contending Spurs dropped points. Al, what we saying?
Well, I haven't used title contending Spurs, so that must be you, Terry. Yeah, so the whole bottled it thing for me is a bit of a weird way to use it. Like after 5 games, we never do well away with West Ham, so technically anything there is a positive. But onto the game. Yeah, for me, Conte is to blame for this game. Wouldn't make any substitutions, even though it was clear that Son, again, shocking performance, nowhere near his best. Should have come off way before. Why he took Kulusevski off, absolutely no idea. Then he didn't bring anyone else off, and the team continued. People could say we've got a weak bench or whatever like that, but after the transfer window we've had, bringing in 6 players and everything like that to improve the squad, which has improved the squad. That's not an excuse for me. The blame starts with Conte. Have to include Son in that. Basuma played poor in his first full debut. Again, we've got slow possession out from the back, and it is what it is. It was a bad performance. We were good in certain parts. But that's the thing. I'm loving this. You can go around all their faces because come May and all that, when they've got tears in their eyes, I'll be wanting you to do a big up on my face, Terry, and I'll be here going, because it's the same old Arsenal. Starting well, you're going to flop like you did at the end.
How dare you? Where does this audacity come from? You've just lost a London derby. He's talking about Arsenal like this. Carry me his mic. Get him out.
First of all, a 1-1 is a draw. It's not a loss. And second of all, it comes from you crumbling and everyone pretty much crying on the stream at the end of last season from you guys. That's where it comes from.
We're in a new season now. We're not there anymore. I know that was your trophy. Arsenal crumbling at the last season. Your trophy, put it in your trophy case. Actually, but we're in a new season now.
Playing Champions League football this season, you not. That's what's in my trophy case this season. Enjoy your.
Still not a trophy.
I still play.
Like Champions League football and getting knocked out early in the competition.
That was supposed to be a comeback.
Huh? What's your comeback?
This is
you ruined yourself. You ruined yourself.
Huh? How am I ruining myself?
You guys are still talking about last season because that's all you guys have. Like finishing above Arsenal is your trophy. It's all you aspire to. It's all you have to live off of.
This end of this season, you can crumble again.
And if we do, you're still not going to do anything.
No,
and what?
I'm do more than you.
Aspire for more, Alan. Aspire for more. Reach for the stars. Reach
higher.
higher.
I aspire to win trophies. That's all I've ever said. Like I've said this season, if it's not third and not a trophy, it's a failure. And that's me calling out Conte. Arsenal fans sit on here and go, Arteta, we need to give him time, but we'll take 8th. Oh, we need to give him time, but we'll take 8th. We need to give him time, we'll take 5th.
Ain't nobody ever said we'll take 8th. Ain't nobody ever said we'd take 8th.
Then has crumbled massively.
Alan, you want to know something? You want to know something? With your Champions League football, you've gone out and signed 7 players that a team like Aston Villa could have signed.
Yeah,
That's a bit harsh, though. Egal, a little bit.
That's the reality. If Arsenal had Champions League football, we would have utilized it better than you guys have.
What's Arteta's philosophy this season?
You want to know something? Arteta's not a coward. Like
Alan, we play way better football than you. Everybody can see what our philosophy is.
Antonio
you are
Conte.
playing the best football, exactly, and you're 5 from 5. You're top of the table. I see all you smiling.
I'm not even gonna get into this back and forth. Listen, Antonio Conte is supposed to be this great manager. Let's see what he does with Tottenham, because you don't rate our players, you don't rate our manager, but you know something? We're ahead of you in the league, and at the end of the season, if we finish above you, you're gonna have egg on your face.
Yeah, we'll see where you are at the end of the season. I heard this for months last season. Who finished where? Exactly. Your silence says I'm understood.
You're still talking about last season.
No, I think what's interesting with Tottenham is it's kind of been such a weird start to the season for you. There's been some good performances, some poor performances. I just kind of feel that Spurs fans started the season a little bit too confident, if that made sense. And yes, you've only dropped 4 points. You're still third in the league. Like, it hasn't been a bad start. I'm not stating that it's been a bad start for you, but it's just kind of interesting the level of chest I've seen from some Tottenham fans around how well they're going to do. And I look at your transfer window, and it's the most overrated transfer window that we've seen. It started well, and it was this good base, and you thought, okay, Basuma, yes. Charlton, maybe. And then you think, okay, an older Perisic, what else are you going to add to it? And since Basuma, you've not added anything better than what you already had. And I think that, I know people will say that Antonio Conte gets the best out of like average players. He's making Emerson Royale look like a good right back, and I do understand it, but there isn't long-term sustainability in that. So that's where I'd be a little bit concerned as a Spurs fan. And you know, that kick at the last moment almost cost you the any points tonight at all. But look, I get that, and I also know why you think Arsenal are going to crumble. But the reason I don't think Arsenal are going to crumble this year is that no team at their level, and I'm not speaking about, I remember one season, and it might have only been 3 games in, where the old Wimbledon were top of the league. We've seen those things. You know, you'd have a start to a season where someone like an Everton will win 2 or 3 games on the bounce, and they're like, oh, they might be in the title race. But no one the size of Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, you know, City, Man United, in contemporary football, has won their first 5 games of a Premier League season and not gone on to at least challenge for the title. And for me, I don't see why history isn't going to. I don't see Arsenal falling off now and losing 10, 12 games this season. I just can't see it with the way they're playing, even with injuries. I just don't see that happening. Colin, remember, he spoke to you much tonight. Are you starting to believe that this Arsenal team could do something special this year?
I was believing from way back when. I've been on here and everyone was doing like this. Alan, don't worry, baby. I'll save you a spot at the parade in N5. That's all cool with me. Listen, I'm a believer. I've been believing. I'm believing from the very beginning. And this probably will bite me in the ass, because everyone keeps saying that the bubble's going to pop for Arsenal. Of course the bubble's going to pop. We're not going to win every single game in the league. So as soon as we drop points, it's going to be like a chance to jump onto us. But I'm actually looking forward to that point, actually, to when we do lose a game or when we do drop points and draw, because I want to see how we respond. And then that's when we will know as Arsenal fans how much this team has actually grown. But right now, I'm enjoying the moment, baby. We've got Ramsey decided to pop back up because Liverpool won 2 games on the trot. Don't know where the hell you've been. Al, don't know what happened down at West Ham. But for me, it's been a good night. It's been a good few weeks, actually. I can't complain.
Can we stop it with Rams just popped up right now? Because I would have popped up last
yeah, no,
week
so I'm sorry, guys. We have to be very sensitive about Ram. Ram had the summer away from the terrace. No, it's not funny. Ram was away from the terrace over the summer because his girlfriend left him. And
stop it, man. Allow it.
He's been crying for 3 months. He's been crying.
I like the talk, Colleen. It was the same talk before we done the watch along together at the studio. And what happened to that?
Why does he keep going back to last season?
Because it's a trophy for them. They lived off of it. They dined off of it all summer. They were like, we finished above
ourselves. You guys playing the Premier League.
Come up with some new material.
It's happening.
I know why you're salty, Alan, because when we come back from 3-0 down at White Hart Lane 24 years ago, that's why you're still salty. Like, I'm not going to bring that up, am I? Come on, let's keep it to now. Some super chats here.
Kane, use relevant based on last season. Come on.
So, Kane signing a new contract is confirming he is the new Letitia. True, maybe. What does this word mean?
Warra trophy.
Warra trophy.
What a trophy, but it's Warra.
What a
What
What does it mean?
What a
And,
trophy.
you're all
Like,
talking. I
what a
can't hear. What does it mean?
It's
What do you
like
mean?
what a trophy. What a
trophy.
Okay, cool. The reason I couldn't hear is because everyone started answering it, and then someone else jumped in. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm old. Man is salty. Talking about you, Alan. This brand of bacon is so salty from Tottenham, is what Sat Pat say. Yeah. Smoky back bacon. That's very salty. Tottenham fan, it's banter. Take a breath. Spurs finished 2 points above Arsenal. That's it. Is what's been said there. That's also very, very true as well. Fans of clubs with a chicken on the ball as a club crest should just shut up. Shush. Big clubs with that trophy count is what's been said there. Ram, thank you very much, mate, for coming on, having your say, and coming back on the terrace. I appreciate it, my guy. Next on the show, we're gonna go to top. We've got loads of people. It's hard to pick. I feel guilty when I don't put people on, but Tom Little's here with us now with his Carvalho shirt on.
He's
It's on
got
back to front.
Shameless.
I was on mute. I missed it. My star boy. I'll tell you what though. I'm going to be honest. This result massively papers over cracks. But I won't care until the top six show tomorrow. Until the top six show tomorrow, I will enjoy the 98th minute winner feeling, because my God, did I need that after the time wasting they had. I was watching Nick Pope dive on the ball and lie down on it in the 33rd minute. I will fully admit my head was hot. I was watching him lie down on it in the 66th minute, like the game was done. But Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho, if them two aren't starting against Everton on Saturday, we're doing it wrong. Jordan Henderson's just picked up an injury, apparently, according to Klopp. So it's either Fabio Carvalho or Milner. Jürgen, you've got a choice. Please, I beg you, make the right one. I beg with all my heart you make the right one and don't pick the OAP. Please do not pick the OAP to run the midfield at Goodison. Pick Fabio, because all the concerns that people have about, they're not strong enough, they're not going to last physically. Every single game they're getting chipped away. And it is a major concern, the fact that 2 19-year-olds are our best players this season. A major, major concern. But I'm not going to touch on that until after the window, because I'm going to trust, rightly or wrongly, I'm going to trust that Jürgen, the backroom staff, whoever his name is, have got a midfielder in line. Because if we don't, we're playing with fire and we're going to get burnt. We need a midfielder, and today just proved it even more, because Jordan, number 14, Jordan Henderson, Brian, whatever you want to call him, that was absolutely abysmal. That was absolutely abysmal. The only credit I can give him is that he was fantastic at breaking up attacks. Let's hope that next time he plays, he breaks up the opposition attacks instead of our own. That's the only hope I've got. Because my God, today he was shocking.
I hear you on that. I want to ask a question. I think there's about 8 minutes of time added on. I get why, because they were time wasting. But people's argument is loads of teams time waste, and they very rare. Sometimes you see 5 minutes of time added on and another minute injury in injury time, and then they still blow up on the 5th minute. Do you feel like you got a little bit fortunate tonight with that time being added on?
100%. 100,000, whatever, we got lucky. It should not have went as long as it did, because there's been many games in the past where it hasn't. But guess what? I couldn't care less. I could not care less.
And nor more should you, because your title race was over tonight if you didn't get those 3 points. If you were 9 points off the top after 6 games,
it was bad.
I don't see you pulling that back. And I said this a few games ago when you were 5 points behind. If you said to somebody, right, give the team at the top of the league a 9-point start at the beginning of the season over you, and City would have had a 7-point gap, you'd never believe you could bring that back. So yeah, very important win for you guys tonight, and it's going to be intriguing to see how that goes. Referee blew the whistle way too late. Come on, is what Handy has got to say here. I mean, you got proper Fergie time tonight. Is what happened.
Jürgen time. Jürgen time. I like it.
But there's talk of a bid tomorrow, £20 million for Douglas Luiz. Do you feel like Liverpool are going to pull something out the bag tomorrow?
If they don't, it's gross negligence. That's all I can describe it as, because today was a major, major issue. And even though we got the result, we got the 3 points, you can't rely on it. So what I think today made it even clearer, we need someone who can be competent on that left-hand side in controlling tempo, in running the game. Because every time it went to Jordan Henderson on that left-hand side, he'd take 2 or 3 more touches than needed and kill off any potential of an attack that we had. So tomorrow, I don't care if you've got to pay over the odds. You've got yourself in this mess. You pay to get yourself out of this mess. You go buy Yuri Tielemans. You go buy whoever you think is comfortable at dictating tempo. Because right now, that is what we need. Especially with 9 games in a month. Because if we're going into 9 games in a month with Henderson and Milner as our left side of the central midfield options, write the season off. Write it off.
I think you put on a great point there ahead of this weekend's fixtures, and then it's every 2 or 3 games now. Every 3 to 4 days now, our teams are all playing. Unless we go out early of the League Cups, we might get little breaks, but we're all playing that regularly. This is when we're really, really going to see whose squads are up for this season or not, because you're going to have to keep chopping and changing. This was probably the last fixture where there's very little rotation, if that makes sense, which is, again, though, why Arsenal winning 5 from 5 is key, because everyone's going to drop points through this period. Even City will drop. I mean, they've already dropped points this season. They will drop points when this rotation starts to happen, because it's a concertinaed season. How do we know that? When it was concertinaed after the return after lockdown, City dropped points because of the way the games were so close. You just can't you can't maintain it. So it's going to be very intriguing indeed. Alan, my old mate, I appreciate you coming on, sharing your face after that embarrassing night. Embarrassing. I'm joking.
I've made a note. No, that's fine. I've made a note and all that to remember this stream for when obviously Arsenal cry later on about last season. I'll remember that. I've got it logged down because you will do it, and I'll bring it all up again.
I'll take you to see a Premier League trophy, Alan. Don't worry.
I'll see you when you're out in the quarterfinals of the Europa.
Alan, you've mentioned last season a few times. Have a good one.
Yeah. That's fine. I'll remember when you do it, and then you'll complain about it. I'll remember when you do it, and then I'll say you can't do it. Remember.
Al, top man for coming on. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to bring Brandon onto the stream with us now, and Tom, cheers, mate. We'll chat to you tomorrow night properly on the Top 6 show, and we'll speak then. Top man, and we're going to bring in Roms is joining us, another Liverpool fan. We're going to get V on very soon. Zain and Rax. I didn't see Rax sitting there at the bottom. Rax there as well. Roms here with us. Brandon, though, another win for Arsenal. Are you fully 100% in the Arteta In club now? I need to ask you that question.
No.
It's okay.
Not yet. Give it time, Terry. Give it time. We haven't won anything yet. We haven't achieved anything yet. So give it time. But I am starting to believe. And to be honest with you, Terry, right? You can see that there's belief within that team as well. There's the belief in that team, the character, the mentality is just second to none at the moment. And, that's why we're winning these games. I think the first half, we should have killed that game off. We had ample opportunities to kill that game off. And that's the only criticism that I have of Arsenal this evening is just, we got to be more clinical in front of goal. And I was quite worried, actually, that it could come back to bite us in the second half, and it almost did. But again, the mentality, the character, it all shined through. But, and I'm going to be realistic with you as well, I know Jess feels the same way. I'm not happy with the way that this transfer window is ending for Arsenal. I really am not. I still feel that we need a midfielder at the very least. Definitely a midfielder, and I would also argue a winger as well. Clearly, Arteta and Edu think that we have enough to go at. I'm not so sure. I mean, Sambi Lokonga and Xhaka were very, very good tonight, and I cannot criticise either of them. But it's a long old season, Terry, And yeah, 5 wins out of 5, it's great. But it's a long season. Can we rely on the options that we have to consistently perform? You got to be consistent in the Premier League, whether you want to make the top 4, whether you want to become title challengers. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you as well. The form that we're showing at the moment, the way that we're playing, we could well become title challengers with the right additions to the squad. And that's what makes it so disappointing, because we had £50 million sat there ready to splash that on Rafinha, and we've done nothing with that £50 million. A couple of additions to this squad, and you could well be talking about Arsenal potentially challenging for a title this season. And It's kind of reminded me a little bit of last season because we was almost a shoe-in for that top 4 spot. And all we needed was a striker in January. And we didn't get that. And in the end, it ended up being the right decision because we ended up with Jesus. But I just don't think we can afford to wait around. You know what I mean? I think it's a great opportunity for Arsenal this season, especially with the way Liverpool are playing at the moment as well. Manchester United. You know,
I think you're right about needing more, but I do have a question about the Arteta in, Arteta out situation. Is it that you're waiting for permission from your dad, Lee Gunner, to allow you to say
No. I have my own mind, Terry.
No, I know you do, mate. I'm only winding you up. But I think you're absolutely spot on around, like I've said it all week, and it kind of some goon has been like, I thought you were backing us this year. I'm not backing anyone. I'm just saying what I think, and I think it would be a disappointment for Arsenal to get to the end of this window and not have anything additional, especially if you end up missing out on achieving something brilliant by a handful of points, which a Tillemans and a Pedro Neto, I'm just throwing those two names out there, would be able to give you, you know, because once this, and look, Man United and Arsenal will both be in this situation. When we get to that Thursday, Sunday, you know, and a fair number of our players going to the World Cup, it's going to be a hard season. And I just think all of that, I'm disappointed that we're not buying a couple more players. You know, we bought in 6. Pravka don't really count, but we bought in 6, and I still think maybe 1 or 2 more. So I totally get where you're coming from with that. We have some super chats here. I'm going to come to this one a bit later, James. We haven't ignored it. Should Arsenal be beating Man United? We'll come to that later on the show. I didn't realize the transfer window was over. Well, it's not. It's not. But it's Brandon said the way it's heading. Didn't say the way it's gone. So
and it's close to being done, and we're not that close. Like y'all need to stop acting like there's so many days left in this transfer window. I'm just saying it's close to being done.
It's tomorrow.
It's done. Like, you know, it's close to being done.
It's 24 hours away. It's like Christmas Eve. So it's not Christmas though. Pretty much. Just jumped in. Gabriel for 45 million. Kudos Arteta. I mean, listen, I'm going to say this. I praise Arsenal a lot. He's been your biggest, weakest link this year. Like, people saying kudos to him. Like, he scored goals, but like in most games, like the goal you conceded against Fulham, I feel like he's threatened that in a lot of games this year. He's dilly-dallied on the ball a little bit.
Even last season, he was
kind of... Sorry. You're talking about Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus. Sorry. Because I would not. I just couldn't. Sorry, I get your point now. Sorry, you're talking Gabriel Jesus. Bang on. Yeah. Sorry. We digress. Sorry.
You meant the centre back.
Yeah. Because that's his name. No, I get confused as well when anyone refers to footballers by their first name. It's weird. Like I just
Arsenal got 3 of them as well.
I know.
You got 3 Anthonys. How are you going to handle it?
No, we haven't. We've got one Anthony, and we've got a Martial, and we've got an like in football. That's why you use the surname. So there's a reason.
But people are going to start calling him Anthony now, just to be like Anthony.
It's boring. It's like at school. The reason why your PE teachers, I don't know what it was like in the States or Canada. The reason they use your surname is because quite often at school you have kids with the same name. Like you go to Essex. You know how many Laurens there were in my year in Essex? Like you call them all Lauren, like 7 girls turn around at the same time. It's true. It's true. The amount of Davids in a boy's year at school. So they couldn't shout David. They shout his surname out. That's why it keeps the surnames. What's the timestamps of the City reaction, lad? That was earlier on in the show. We've got Vitor coming out. More City talk soon. As a Man United fan, much respect, Tom, for admitting that Liverpool didn't deserve that much extra time, which I think is a fair point. We're joined though now by Rom's Liverpool fan. How happy are you right now, my friend?
Listen, when you get a last-minute winner in any game, your natural emotion will override, but that will paper over the cracks. We were bang average. A Newcastle team about ASM, Bruno Guimaraes, and who's the other guy that was out? ASM, Bruno, and Wilson. I was so confident that we'll get something from this game, but I didn't think it would be that hard. What Eddie Howe's done with Newcastle, you just have to give him credit for. And what Tom said earlier, if Carvalho and Elliott now don't start against Everton, we're doing something wrong, because I've been screaming for weeks on many different streams, Carvalho should start. Like, he is the truth. And a lot of people say he's young, you don't put that pressure on young players, but that's how we've seen some of the best young players in the past. They get thrown into situations and they have to make a name for themselves. But at the moment, any Liverpool fan that says, it's good times, we won 2 out of 2 now, let's be real. Yeah, last week 9-0. You're gonna be happy if you beat anyone 9-0, but it was against a poor Bournemouth side, and the fact we struggled, it took us to the death. The Newcastle team, a second string Newcastle team that took us to the death, it's worrying times, and we don't do well with early morning kickoffs as well. I'm not sure about Everton on the weekend now. Honestly, I can't go into that game too confident, but I'm happy I got the win. I'm probably more happy for Carvalho than the 3 points, as mad as that sounds, because I've just wanted to see him start so badly. And I do actually feel Klopp will make that change on the weekend, because Henderson's picked up a knock, so hopefully he gets his chance.
Can I ask you a question, though? Do you feel like with the win, it could stop the purchase of a midfielder, where defeat would have been damning? Like, if you'd have lost that game 1-0, if Isak's second goal goes in, you lose 2-0, it's almost impossible for Liverpool and FSG to paper over that and not sign anyone. Could it now be seen as, see, look, we got through the adversity, we've got these youngsters, we'll be okay? Do you think that's what now the narrative's going to be?
It could. Personally, I still think we won't get a midfielder. I hope I'm wrong, but I personally think we won't. But now, I think you've hit the nail on the head, Terry. I think they're now going to say, look, we've done it with a second string Newcastle team. We've now won. We don't need to dip into the market, but in the long run, it will be to our detriment. So, but I think that will be the case. I do think that will be the case.
Fair play, my friend. Bran and Roms, thank you both very much for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very, very much indeed. We're going to add, it's so hard. We've got V coming in with us, and Rack that we're going to chat to. We will get you on, Zain, as well. So I'm going to rotate.
Jump off you, Terry,
okay, you're jumping off. Okay,
I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to spoil my United thing. I'm probably going to be on 12th man, so I'll catch you guys there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's hard to ask about it because we've got other shows doing predictions, so we don't really want to waste it. But I don't think Colleen's on any of our preview shows before it. I don't think. Zane's with us now as well. So are you confident of beating Man United, Colleen? Just getting your opinion on this.
Light work.
Colleen.
Light work. Casemiro, who? Don't know who that is.
There we go. Before we talk more Liverpool, I want to speak to V. Another hat trick, 6 goals scored, blistering ahead of your main title rivals, Liverpool. You must be over the moon, my friend.
Haaland with the hat trick, back to back. We're all giddy. We're all happy. We're excited. We're not even top of the league, but we're happy. We see Arsenal. They're coming. Arsenal's coming. Liverpool, they're still making it known that they're in this. Looks like it's going to be a 3-team race this year. Yo. It's all good. You can come off camera. I think it's going to be a great 3-team race. I'm happy with the hat trick. I'm happy with the brace. You see the men's. Haaland, Alvarez, they're playing, and they're playing in the system. It's looking so good. Now, I will say this. Only Pep, and Pep is clear. Let's be clear. Pep is clear within this league of who the top manager is. Okay? Only Pep can sub De Bruyne, put him on rotation, and there's no fuss. That's going to be required for this season. Look at these games every 3 days. Every 3 days, you're going to need a manager that's going to be brave enough to have that rotation. And I love seeing it this early in the season. I love the result that we saw. We saw what Liverpool just did, slapped up with 9 goals. We had to answer with the goal differential. We have to answer. We know it's going to be. It could be really tight at the end of the season. I'm happy with everything that I saw today.
I get you on that, but you can't say the only manager to rotate. Eric Ten Hag has rotated Harry Maguire out twice now, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean?
Fair point.
Who disappeared? As Colleen went. Listen, I think City looked. I saw some of the game. It's hard to watch 4 games. I don't know how they do this. Like, but 4 games on at once is hard. But Haaland is just. I can't. Listen, I've got a thing about it because when he first burst onto the scene like 3.5, 4 years ago, I said he was great, and I had Man United fans cooking me because Greenwood was better. There was Chelsea fans last year. Lukaku's better. And every time you compare him to a current great, the kind of fanboys of that player all come for you. And you can tell how good he is because everyone who's a fanboy of one of the current stars hates him because for his age, he's ahead of all of them in terms of the goals that he scored as an example. He's very different from a Messi. He's different from a young Ronaldo, but the goals that he's getting. And now he's at a club like City. And if he leaves
he's absolutely different. Sorry, go ahead.
It is different, but he's at City, so he's going to start adding the trophies to it. If he leaves City, he's only going to go to a team like a Real Madrid, who are going to continue to win trophies with, and that's when in 10 years' time, as long as he stays injury free, he's going to have a goal scoring record up there with some of the greatest goal scorers in the history of football, and he's going to have the trophy haul potentially to go with it. Like, this guy can have 4 touches in the first half of a game and have a hat trick. That is nothing, and that's not like, and City are still playing well. And they're still playing well.
Yes.
It's not like that the team are playing poorly. Like, he is an absolute phenom. He's an absolute phenom.
His movement in that box, it's continuous. It's relentless. He's always looking to be in the right spot. We've needed that player. So there's not going to be any complaints on this end. You see how his teammates, and I've been on the show before, Terry. Thanks for having me on again. I've been on the show saying they have to look for him, and they are looking for him. It's just going to continue. I'm happy. One thing I just want to point out, if Haaland is going to be this clinical, only requiring 3 touches, 2-3 goals, if this continues, this record is getting smashed. I was conservative when it all started. I said, hey, if he gets 25 all competitions, I'm happy. But what he's doing right now and the players looking for him, it's scary, guys. Scary.
Well, look, my 2 biggest calls this season were Arsenal to come third. Everyone laughed. Haaland to break goal scoring records in the Prem. Everyone's like, nah, no way, not in the Prem, not going to be able to do it. Not with Pep as his manager. And so far, my 2 biggest predictions of the season are going along very, very nicely. By the way, I want them both. I want both predictions to be wrong because it's not good for my club.
No, you're smart. You're right.
I mean, I get most of my predictions right. You know, it's one of them. No, I don't actually. But there we go. It's one of them. Before I go to Rack, I want to speak to Zain. Zain, you came on here 3 or 4 days ago and said we're all idiots for questioning Liverpool because you just won 9-0. You won tonight, and you should be happy. There's no doubt about that. You should be celebrating, but like the lack of performance for large parts of that game again. Are you concerned as a Liverpool fan about your Premier League season? And I say that from the context of no title challenge is a bad season for this Liverpool team. How are you feeling after the performance tonight, my friend?
I'm shameless, bro. Yes, we won. Damn you, Newcastle. You're dirty shithousery, bro. Karma, man. It came back to hurt you. It came back to hurt you. So, yes, I'm going to be shameless and celebrate the win as a rival. You damn right I'm going to be that. And chat, shut up. I don't care, bro. I'm going to be shameless. We robbed them, bro. 8 minutes. I don't care. You like crying. Wow, about, it should be 5. But technically, did you see that moment, right, Terry, where I've got his name. That dead striker's in our midfielder for Newcastle, where he fell on the ground and we carried on playing. Then after about 2 seconds, he jumped straight back up again. Do you get me? Because the referee knew what's going on. So I don't want to hear that. But that's hiding the problem. So we'll go on. Like I said, Terry, to you about the problem. It's always been the midfield. I've been shouting it out since last year. I've been calling out Donkey, right? And do you know what the funny thing is, right, chat? Catch me on this, right? When I was calling out Donkey last season, bruv, and you all know who that is because man said it bare times last season, I was getting bare Liverpool fans fighting me on the street. Like, oh, you can't talk to me, da-da-da. Now, did I not hear Mr. Tom Littledale 180, bruv? I'm like, da-da-da. He went into 5 minutes about this brother that he was defending for his life last season, bruv. As I keep saying to you, man,
Easy. Stop going at Tom.
No, I'm not having to go. I'm just giving an example of a Liverpool fan recently. He just talked about it. I could say, other people as well, but like I said, but from my point of view, I find it funny how you guys keep doubting me, bro. You keep doubting me. Last season. Last season.
Zane. Can I tell you what it is? No one actually doubts your football opinion per se. You get some things right. Hang on. You get some things right and you get some things wrong. Okay. No, you do. You said that Minamino was better than most, but should be starting over Mane last year. Okay. Yes, but then Mane. Hang on, just let me. I'm not having a go at you. Just let someone finish talking for a minute, son. Right. The issue that people have with you is how abrupt you are and how you go at everybody. So what happens is everyone just goads you for a laugh because they like seeing you explode. And you walk into the trap every single time.
You think so? All right, you think so, right? But
I do, bruv. Shut up, bruv. Shut up. That way you walk into it every time.
Okay, do you know what? Hold on. For the next couple of minutes, I'll do work chat.
Go on, bruv.
just to show you the levels, I'll do the work chat now for you guys, right? So I'll talk without the bruv coming into it, right? So,
all right, bro.
as I was clearly articulating last season, highlighting the deficiencies in on the field, especially with us carrying players who, unfortunately, you know, are falling off and obviously lost their legs and stuff. Donkey, I still have to say Donkey, professional or not, because that's what the guy is, right? So that's my name for him. But it's funny now, as you can see, the problem with Liverpool at the moment is when Nunes comes back in.
What, you know that song, one hug, two hug? It's like one bruv, two bruv.
Oh, no, hold on.
Four bruvs.
You're not haters, bruv. That's it. But don't hate, appreciate. That's what I've got to say, right?
Your mum, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, you know that was a sick response, bruv. Your mum. Shut up, David. I don't want to entertain your games. I'll shut that stuff down, bruv.
Bruv, he's back. You lasted 40 seconds doing your best Prince Charles impression, right? And then straight away, you're like one of the guys out of People Do Nothing.
All right, Terry, I'll carry
MC Grinder, come on.
But I beg you, give me a couple of minutes later on just to talk about Arsenal, because it's shameless what's been going on in the street tonight.
Okay. Rack, from your point of view, mate, do you want to get your take on that last minute win, my friend?
Yeah, look, I thought a lot of our approach play was decent today. We weren't ideal in the final third. We didn't create as many good clear-cut chances as we normally do. But a lot of the approach play, you know, the side-to-side working space, working movement. I've got to give Newcastle credit. They worked their socks off for the whole game. Like, they were on it as soon as players got tired. Eddie Howe did well, sub new players on fresh players, and they didn't give us an inch. And it was very similar to how Fulham approached the game in the first game of the season. They were really on it. I was very surprised by their level of fitness, because if you don't give us time on the ball, then it's much more difficult for them to create something that can hurt them. But yeah, look, ultimately, last minute winning, you can't really complain. I will agree with Zain. I'm going to be shameless. In terms of the time, it was I think someone in the chat called it Yergi time rather than Fergie time, because it was quite funny. But yeah, look, we won 3 points. We live to fight another day.
Well, I've heard a rumor. I've heard a rumor that Klopp did a deal with the witch, and she a spell is what allowed the extra time to be added.
Time, you can't say nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm one of these people. When I was younger, I would always defend it. No, the time was added on for the right. When we beat City 4-3, I've never seen a reaction to time added on, but that was the same example as tonight. It was actually right that it went on because there was time wasting and substitutions and delays. But I just feel like they should do that all the time. The amount of times you'll be 91 minutes into a game, they've added 5 minutes. Someone will get injured and it takes a minute and a half to sort it out, and they still blow it. Even if it ain't my team, I'm sort of like, where is that? That's why what they should just bring into football is every time the ball's out of play, the clock stops, like in rugby, and then you don't need time added on. Once it hits 90, it's over. But if someone takes a minute to take a throw, the time doesn't go down.
So this is the thing. Like, I think they've done studies on this, and if you do it that way, then a 90-minute game when it's normally played, the ball's actually only in play for probably about 50 minutes of the time. The rest of it is like out of play, people rolling around, and all that kind of stuff. So then you'd have to make it like a 60-minute game or something, which would be an interesting way to do that. I think they do it in America.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, definitely would be interesting. But again, get it over and done with quicker. And I suppose we like the length of it. But there we go. Question before we. John C here says, were journalists talking about Vieira? No, they weren't. To be fair, so maybe Arsenal will pull something out of the bag tomorrow. Nobody expects. Absolutely right. Good point. Question: Haaland or Henry at their prime? Choose one.
I mean, Henry's proven it. Why would you?
Please stop. Relax.
Haaland.
Oh my goodness.
No, again, I love Haaland, but his prime, I'm picking Thierry Henry. However, in 5-6 years' time, you might have if Haaland scores in finals, scores the Champions League winning goals, breaks the goal scoring record of Henry, then it could be a very different conversation. But Henry is a different style of player, because what you could actually have is you could have a team with Henry on the left, with Haaland in the top. They don't play the same role. But yeah, right now, of course, I'm not picking Haaland over Henry. That's just my opinion. Zain, I want to go to you. You mentioned you want to speak about Arsenal. What are you saying, son?
Yeah, so I think it's Jess, pick yourself up, man. You're the one sensible Arsenal fan out there. Do you know what I mean? You keep it
I already
real.
know I'm not going to like what you're going to say, so
No,
just
no,
move
no.
on.
And also, you know, as a gentleman, how you enjoying England? You enjoying it over here?
Go ahead, whatever you're going to say. Let's do it.
No, you got a
Late.
bad impression of me. I don't know where you get that from, but anyway. But the others, oh my days. Right, the bruv count may come up a bit, so watch out, chat, right? But they keep talking about last year didn't happen, right? They're saying, oh, what? Forget about last year. So why are you playing in Thursday football then? Tell me why you're playing Thursday football. Oh, what? Because of last year. And the thing, I suppose, I want to answer because you're sensible. You can give a good answer to this, right? I'm curious to understand, right? So Arteta came in, finished 8th. Next season had no European football, still finished 8th. Last season, bottled top 4. Let's just keep it real. It was that because you know, 3 games left, 4 points. You bottled it. So what I don't understand is you brought in a defender. Don't get me, Saliba, amazing centre back. He's quality, right? He is quality, right? But apart from that, right, you've got the same cowards. And let's keep it real. They bottled it against their rivals, Tottenham. The old Arsenal, the Henry days, which is History FC, remember, would never done. They won titles at Tottenham's ground. They didn't lose top 4. So how are all these other fans, not you, Jess, because you keep it real, where I get this energy from, especially Colleen, because the way she was chatting mad moves, man, last season, and she didn't feel no shame, and now she's doing it again. Egal, obviously, forget Egal. Egal's different level. Do you know what I mean? But can you explain to me where the energy is coming from? The gas. Where's the gas coming from Arsenal?
I mean, first of all, you have like all your facts wrong. That's the first of all. The whole past of it, you didn't even get it right. Like, he hasn't not had European football for 2 seasons. It was 1 season. We played in the Europa League under Arteta twice. But no, I'm not done. But you spoke, so let me speak. Let me answer your question.
Yeah.
So you're talking about History FC, talking about the Invincibles, and saying, well, if this team is not like the Invincibles, then they're bottlers and they don't have the right mentality.
That's not quite
But what you
correct.
failed to add into it is that this team was full of like 20-year-olds, and experience matters. They didn't have the experience to get it over the line. And we also have a young manager that's learning on the job. So if you're not you can't just remove context from every single conversation because you don't like that Arsenal fans are not mad or they're still excited about the project, even though you can't see it because you're doing your own thing. That's the issue with this season. No. I'm not done. I'm not finished. This is really the issue, is that people expected Arsenal fans to come into the season, be Arteta out, and be at each other's necks. And people can't see why are you excited you bottled top 4. It's because it's a long-term project. Definitely needs to get to a certain point. We all have aspirations of making sure that we get top 4 this season, or else we have to have questions. But anybody with 2 eyes and sense can see that this team was young and still needed to add those extra pieces. So talking about Saliba and saying that these are the same bottlers, did you not see that it was Bukayo Saka and Martinelli carrying this team last season? They were 20. They were 20. And just like you guys have Harvey Elliott and Carvalho in your midfield now, and you're afraid that they're not going to be able to do it, they're going to be under pressure because your senior players are not holding the team up now. So I just feel like you can't remove context so that you can say whatever you want to and then expect people to take you serious.
No, but
because you didn't say anything about the young team. You just said, well, they're bottlers. Well, they're freaking young.
I said, there's a variety of factors that go into performance of a team. So I'm not going to sit here for 10 minutes calling them out because the chat are going to get bored, right? Let's keep that real, right? So let's just relax on that. And then going back to your Arsenal, I actually think they're playing the best football at the moment in the Premier League. So again, then your opinions, again, thinking that I'm going to actually slay Arsenal were actually incorrect. So do you know what I mean? I actually think Arsenal are playing the best football at the moment and looking good. But one thing I want you to answer, I have a criteria for a genuine title contender. I've said it multiple times.
Is that what you're upset about? Is because Arsenal fans are saying that we could challenge for the title? Is that what it is? Because get to the point.
Okay, so
like,
the
if
point
that's what it is.
No. So the point I'm going to make to you is that my criteria for a title winning team is they've got to do like 10 wins in a row, generally, because that's something consistently Liverpool and Man City have done. And unless you know yourself, Jess, by the end of the season, there's generally like a 20-point gap between second and third, right? Because these two teams have their capability going to runs, but other teams drop points, blah, blah, blah. Okay?
Yep.
Now, at the moment, you've won 5 games, and arguably, to be top contenders, the teams you've beaten, you should win on paper, right? So, tick, 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 tick. For me, the real challenge is when you get Thursday night football coming in, my concern for Arsenal is the fact that you're going to have 2 games a week. You've got certain key players, which if they go out the team, Partey, Saliba, I think Ramsdale's injured at the moment. He's quite key as well. And obviously you've got the young attacking players around. But like I said, I don't watch your team that well. But you know yourself, there's a concern that one of those 2 players, key players, go down. The team you're seeing now will not be the same team. You know, I'm talking from experience of the injuries Liverpool get, right? So that's why I don't understand the energy, because I'm giving you context to it like you wanted. And from where I'm sitting, based on what I've just said about your squad depth being a concern, 2 games a week for the next 8 weeks, not showing the consistency or winning 10 games in a row. Like the dirty game we won today, that's what Man City and Liverpool do. When we win 10 games in a row, they're not all beautiful 9-0s. They're dirty 1-0s, 3-2s.
Can I get Rack really quick? Can I just answer this whole thing? Is that the majority of Arsenal fans don't actually think we are title contenders.
Thank you.
So just, I think that like you guys just don't want to hear us talk about it because you're just so. Why are you guys so excited? Because we're winning 5 games in a row and we're just excited. Just let us live. Like let us breathe. Nobody like there are some Arsenal fans that think we are. Fair enough. And you're allowed to think whatever you want to think. But the majority of Arsenal fans know we're fighting for top 4. And you don't watch our team because Thomas Partey hasn't played in the last 2 games. We already have injuries and we're actually doing much better than we did last season because we couldn't win a game without him last time. We haven't had our starting 11 for 2 games. We're already having injuries. So the idea that we're playing in perfect settings now and everything's going to fall apart in a second and we're not going to be able to rebound, I think you don't actually watch us. There's no way you can.
No, I don't.
You don't. Because you're talking about injuries. We already got them, baby. We already have injuries.
No. But like I said, there's injuries. And like I said, from my point of view, I'm just curious to see all the gas that's happening at the moment. I can see why Alan
saying there's not that much gas. There's not that much.
Oh no! Trust me. If
not
they
about
beat
winning
Man
the
United,
title,
oh
not
my
about winning
god!
the title,
If they
not
beat
about
Man
winning the
United.
title.
Yeah, but
why does it bother you guys so much? If you guys don't think we're genuine title contenders, why do you have why are you so fixed on it?
Sorry, let me just jump in for a second though. That point makes perfect sense. But equally, if they win their opening 6 games, why would you not be excited about what could come? Because no team that I've ever seen in the Premier League who are bottlers, who are not a team not literally full of winners or becoming winners, very few of them ever win 6 Premier League games on the bounce, let alone their opening 6 Premier League games, where typically the beginning of the season is when teams are at their most inconsistent because you're coming through pre-season, you've got to get going. If they win their opening 6 games of a season, I can't even remember when did City last do that? When did Liverpool last do that? Maybe Liverpool did a couple of years ago, but to win your opening 6, it's as rare as rocking horse shit. Yeah. So to ask, even just taking it aside from winning titles, most of the time on here when I've said I think Arsenal can, I'm very careful with my words. I said can become title contenders. Most Arsenal fans have gone, nah, come on, don't say that. Now Colleen's just having a little bit of
gassing it up a bit, yeah.
No, but she's having a bit of fun. And I think with football fans as well, and the football terrace, this is the point of our community, is you're allowed to have a little bit of fun and not be called delusional. Fans are allowed to be fans. You know, Leyton Orient supporters sing the song, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. Not even the best team in Leytonstone, sometimes, but the point is their fans are allowed to sing it. They're currently top of League 2, so the best team at that level right now. But you've got to allow fans to express themselves. This over-policing wins is crazy. Your football club, contextually, celebrated a draw against West Brom. But why did you do that? Now, you'll always get bantered for it, but why did you do it? Because it was one of those moments of, I think it was a moment where Klopp made the team start to believe that they could do things. And A win like that was a pivotal gateway moment. And the wins like tonight for Arsenal, beating Man United, winning 6 on the bounce. Who comes after? Who they play after Man United?
Everton, I think.
Everton. So you've actually got to look at it this way. Beating Man United is one, it's always worth celebrating. 2, you win 6 on the bounce, and you play Everton, who are shit. You think, fucking hell, we could do 7 here. And then you look at the game after that and you think, and then what happens is maybe your 8th game City, it might not be, I'm just throwing it out there. But then it gives you a bit more of an insurance policy, and maybe you're a little bit more relaxed when you go and play Man City because you're not like the problem Arsenal have had in a lot of games in recent years when they've come up against a big hard team is it's off the back of other wins or they've been on a poor run of form, and the pressure to win is so high. You win 6, 7, 8 on the bounce before you go in against a City or a Liverpool. They don't want to lose, but they can afford to, and it doesn't damage their season almost at all. And that level of going into games a bit more relaxed is what actually helps you play a little bit better. So I don't think that any Arsenal fan could be accused of over-celebrating. They've not had a start this good for 20 years, bro. 20 years is a long time. I know it isn't for you, Zain, because Zain was in his late 20s 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy's been around, but I'm only winding you up, my friend. I'm only winding you up.
Quickly, Terry, Isaac, can we just talk about Isaac? Because I feel that, honestly, that 60 minutes, wow, what a player. What a player. The way that second goal that was offside, damn, oh my God, because Alisson's a quality keeper, and the way he just finished him, right? Newcastle, what are we saying? Are we saying genuinely, right? Obviously, top 6 guaranteed now with Isaac coming there, but come on, is there now a shout?
Top 6 is guaranteed for Newcastle? I mean, they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I was very impressed with them against Man City. I was very impressed with them today.
Top 6 definite.
But you can't say top 6 definite.
Top 4, man.
Top 4.
Nothing is funnier than like I mean, if you're talking about track records, Newcastle have even less of a track record than Arsenal at this point. Like, you have to just let it air out because they're teams that, like, we also have to remember that there are teams that haven't even gotten up to speed yet. I don't think Chelsea is going to be as bad as they have been over the last couple of games. I definitely don't think Man United are. And you can't sleep on like West Ham. Like, I know that they're not playing that well, but they've just brought in Paqueta, and he could have the same type of impact as Isak as far as I'm concerned. So you can't just write off teams because there's a new sparkly toy out there. Newcastle, great team. What they have to their advantage is they're not playing in Europe, and the other teams are. But to say that they're a natural shoo-in for the top 6, I think is almost like disingenuous to Man United, Chelsea, West Ham, teams that have been doing it.
Yes, but you called it out there, right? Obviously, they've got concerns about Callum Wilson, right? He got injured again. And straight away, what do they do? 60 mil, because remember, this is all money, big boy, all money now. 60 mil, brought in Isaac, put him straight in, and obviously the pressure for coming in. All I'm saying is, from the small, obviously it's a long season, he has to adapt. But from a first performance in the Premier League, coming in a day before,
it was good. It was a good performance, but
it is the quality of the finish and the movement, man.
But you can't extrapolate that against the rest of the season. That's
no,
not
but
really.
He
could be good. He could be good.
No
Europe,
he looks
talented.
There's no Europe for Newcastle.
The other thing is, look, we played with a high line. He slipped down down the side, and it was a really good finish. Absolutely. But most teams, if they're playing against a quality Newcastle, they might park the bus, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that.
Yeah,
so let's just see.
Yeah, I think listen, Isak, I got a message from my test. He straight away.
Yeah, I was going to say.
His DM said like Isak over Pele, Isak over Maradona, and I get that. That's him joking, but let's see how he does. Equally though, with him being there, they played well so far this season, Newcastle, and they were doing it today with the likes of Longstaff in their team. Over the next 2 to 3 years, when they're going to when they're fit, like not Paqueta, he's gone to West Ham, sorry, but they've got Bruno Guimaraes. They're going to keep adding players like that, players like Isak. They're not doing it as quickly as City and Chelsea because the owners can't pump in as much money as they want. And by the way, if those owners could pump in what they wanted, like City and Chelsea when they took over, they would have signed Haaland this year. They would have signed any top player with any of our teams. They would have got Casemiro because they would have just gone, boom, we'll pay 100 million transfer fee, 500 grand a week in salary, and no one can stop us. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit of stuff, but they will be there or thereabouts at some point in Newcastle. Zain, Rack, Jess, thank you. All my panelists tonight, all of my super chatters, all of my viewers, thank you very, very much indeed. We're back tomorrow. Transfer news, top 6 show, a bit of a deadline show as well, and of course a match reaction to Manchester United versus Leicester. Can United win 3 games, 3 wins on the bounce. Only the second time in 12 months. And I've been looking at the stat myself. Only the 5th time in 9 years that we would win 3 on the bounce. Could Man United do it? We'll see. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless.